I had no triangles on there, did I? Yeah, no triangles, but that's okay. So first one is a kite, so it should look like this. And if you chose to talk about the diagonals, and you tell me that the short one gets bisected, that's a mark, and that they meet at a 90, that's another mark. So in short, you can either say diagonals meet at 90 degrees. You can also write, if you want, short diagonal bisects. What else do we know? We know that it's got two pairs of congruent sides, right? These two are the same in measure, and so are the two at the bottom here. You can say one pair of equal angles, if you want to say that. These two here are the same, right? Only those two are the same. So you've got that going for you. Anybody else wondering? You know the right? You should know the properties, and if you have them, then good for you. So you get 2 marks for that one, for one for each property, of course. Question 2. Sketch a rhombus and label 2 properties. A rhombus is a slanted square. So the first one is that all sides are the same in measure. So you're talking about the sides, right? And then these 2 angles are the same, and so are these 2 angles. You can talk about that if you wanted to. If you didn't sketch, you can say diagonals bisect each other. They actually cut each other in half. Okay. You can say that diagonals meet at 90 degrees. That is also true. You can say 2 pairs of parallel sides. That is an actual symbol we can use. Okay, the parallel symbol. So that's saying that these 2 are the parallel, and these 2 sides are parallel to each other as well. And if you have anything else, that's fine. So 2 marks for that one. 3 marks for, question 3. What is that one? Isosceles trapezoid. So an isosceles trapezoid is a cut-off isosceles triangle. The top is missing. So you can say, if you just want to use markings, that is good. That's 1 mark. If you wanted to talk about the angles, these 2 are the same, and so are these 2 angles at the top. Okay. You can say that the sides are the same. They measure the same. What about the diagonals? Are they going to be the same? If it's a symmetric shape, yes, right? Like if you think about it, this distance is going to be the same as that one. Okay? So you can also say, I don't know if I gave you that in your notes, but diagonals are equal in length. Okay? Do they bisect? They don't. Okay? The diagonals do not bisect on an isosceles trapezoid, so that's something to remember there. 2 marks for question 3. Question 4. Let me just check. Oh, I'm going to do 4 right here. Classify each of the following triangles. 2 sides are the same, so I know that if this is 25, so is this one. And then this is 50, so that means that this is 130, right? So this is an obtuse, so you have to have the obtuse name somewhere, and isosceles somewhere else. 1 and 1, okay? What about this one? Did you use cosine law? I'll say this, you need to have scalene for sure, because all sides are different in measure, but we're not sure about the angle. You know what, if you just said obtuse today, because it looks like an obtuse, I'll give you the marks. But you could use cosine law And when you use cosine law, you actually get a negative numerator. And so that gives you, what is the actual angle measure? Did anybody calculate? What is it? 125.12? 21? Okay. Oh, 0.1. Okay. I need to get my hearing checked. My wife tells me that all the time. But I actually pretend like I'm not hearing something. Anyways, so 2 and 2, 121. You said, sorry, 125.1. There you go. Thank you. Thank you for your patience. Next, calculate the right consider the right trapezoid. So when it says this, we know these are 90, okay? Guaranteed. So name gives you information. Calculate the height. So the height is right here. I don't know, I didn't show you how to do this, but if you go 18, right, that goes from end to end. If you subtract 12 from 18, you end up with 6 here. And then you have your right triangle. So this is one of the legs, right? So leg is square root of 8 squared minus 6 squared. That is root of 64 minus 36. That's root of 28. If you take the root of 28, where are you, square root button? There you go. 5.29 feet. So 2 marks for that. 1 mark for getting the 6. 1 mark for actually using Pythagorean theorem to figure out the 5.29. All right. Okay, true or false? A rectangle has diagonals that are congruent. True. The diagonals in a kite bisect each other. False. The diagonal, only the short one is bisected, but they don't bisect each other. A parallelogram can also be a square. That is actually true. Yes. A parallelogram could be a square. It doesn't say, watch this. If I had said all parallelograms are squares, then you have a problem. Okay? But a parallelogram can also be a square. That is true. All squares are parallelograms. That is true. All squares are parallelograms by definition. A rhombus has 4 congruent angles. That is false. It has 4 congruent sides, but not all angles are the same in measure. So 1 mark for each of these. So you've got 5 marks associated with question 6. So let's count. 5, 6, 7. 7 and 4 gets us to 11. 11 plus another 6 gets us to 17. Hey, look at that. 17 it is.